Hello friends, welcome to a new tutorial on Metastock. I am your guide to help you learn about this particular software called Metastock. Now, in one of our previous videos, we had talked how you can bring multiple stocks onto a single chart so that it can give you an idea to compare between two stocks. Say for example, you are comparing between TCS and Infosys. So you can bring the chart of TCS onto the chart of Infosys just by copy and pasting it, and that will give you some way to analyze, to compare between the two stocks by looking at them, just by looking at them. But I also told you that there are some better ways to compare between the two stocks, and one of those ways is a relative strength approach, which is also called a ratio chart, where we just take one particular stock and divide the closing price of that stock by the closing price of Nifty, which is an index. You can take any other index in place of Nifty. And if we divide the closing price of that stock with the closing price of any other index, maybe Nifty, then for each day we will get one particular point, the ratio. For each day, one particular value of the ratio. And when we plot those values over a long period of time, we get what is called a ratio chart. So the advantage is that if the stock is doing good as compared to index, then the numerator of this ratio will keep rising and we will see an upward trend in the ratio chart. If the stock is not doing good as compared to Nifty, that means maybe the Nifty is rising but the stock is not rising as fast as Nifty, then the numerator of this ratio will not be rising and we will see a net downward trend in the ratio chart. And by looking at the ratio chart, we can really compare between the stock and its index in a more mathematical approach. And we can also take this analysis a bit further and we can compare between two stocks by the same manner. I hope I will be able to show you this idea. So let us start. So we are opening Metastock and we are creating an indicator. So we are going to indicator builder. And here we are creating a ratio chart. So let us start with a variable called Z, and Z is the ratio chart, which is basically a ratio of two numbers, right? So what is X and what is Y? So let us suppose X is actually the closing price of the stock that we are comparing, we are analyzing, right? So X is that closing price. And what is Y? So we are assuming Y is the closing price of Nifty or any other index. So we are having to import the value of Nifty, and for that we use security function in Metastock. It is written like this: security function within parenthesis NSIX, and so this is the code of Nifty, and we are bringing the closing price of Nifty. So that's it. So we have defined X as the closing price of the stock. We have defined Y as the closing price of Nifty. And we have defined the ratio chart to be the ratio of X and Y. And then we are plotting the value of Z, the ratio, right? So we are having to give it a name here. So let the name be ratio chart. So that's it. We hope I have not made any mistake. So we are closing it, and okay, so there was no mistake. If there was any mistake, it would have given us an alert. So this ratio chart is plotted now, and let us plot this ratio chart on any particular stock we are in Nifty oil and gas stocks. So let us select the stock of, suppose, IOC, Indian Oil Corporation, and open the chart. So the ratio chart has been plotted here. Okay, this is the same formula. The ratio chart has been plotted here. If it were not there, it was easy to plot here. I have shown you in one of our previous sessions that you have to bring it from here alphabetically. The indicators will be populated here. So Z ratio chart, and you have to bring it from here. So here it is. So I am making it a bit bolder so that it is helping us to see in a better way. Anyway, so this is how IOC is doing with respect to Nifty. Fine, the stock is falling, and that is being shown in the ratio chart as well. Let us add a moving average here so that we can have an idea how to compare. So moving average of the ratio chart itself, and let us suppose we are plotting a moving average of 15 days and simple moving average. So okay, apply it, and here it is. So okay, in terms of moving average as well, the ratio chart, or the relative strength, here we can say relative strength of IOC with respect to Nifty is really falling. So let us open another stock from the same sector. Suppose let it be Reliance, and when we open the relative strength of Reliance, we can see a different picture. The prices are down, but the relative strength or the ratio chart is not down. It is actually showing an uptrend, and the uptrend is visible from the series of higher bottoms, but the moving average is also showing an uptrend. The slope of the moving average is upward, or the ratio chart itself is trading above the moving average. So although Infosys is falling, but its ratio chart is increasing, that means it is really doing better than the index itself. So by doing this is the way we can compare between two stocks. Now the question is how we can find which stock is really doing good in terms of relative strength, because we have so many stocks in our database. There are suppose some 5,000 stocks in our database. We cannot open each and every stock to judge their relative strength like that. For that we have to explore it. We will write some exploration, and before that let us make it as a default template, so that whenever we open any chart, that chart will open up with its ratio chart by default. So for doing this, we are saving it as a default template. I have shown you this process earlier in some previous lessons. So it is asking us whether do we want to replace the existing default template. Yes. And after that we have to go to our C drive and Metastock data and NSE cash market, and then delete the MS Smart folder. Done. So now whenever we open any chart, not only Reliance but suppose Castrol or say Bharat Petroleum, this will open up with its relative strength. Fine. So now we are going to write an exploration that will find us stocks with strong relative strength, so that it can give us an idea which stock is doing good with respect to Nifty, so that we can invest in those counters. So we close this chart, we go to the Explorer, and we create a new Explorer. We go to first filter, and we have to select all stocks. So all stocks with closing price greater than 1 will be shown up, and here we want the value of the suppose we have to find the ROC, because ratio chart in itself, the value of the ratio chart will be different for different stocks. So we have to compare the value of one ratio chart to another. So for that purpose, some percentage gain in ROC, some percentage gain in terms of ROC will serve us our purpose. So let us do the same thing. First of all, we can copy paste the formula of this one that we had written here. We are copying it, and then we are going to the one that we are writing here with new explorer, because we have not yet assigned any name here. So this is the one that we are writing. So here in column A, we are pasting it. So everything is okay here, but we actually don't want the moving average here. So we are deleting the moving average. Instead of the moving average, we want the rate of change, right? What was the percentage change in relative strength over past say 15 days in terms of percentage, right? So this ROC value will be plotted in this A column, right? The value of ROC, and then we can arrange the stocks in the descending order of ROC. The stock that has a higher ROC will be stronger, right? So in column name, we just, for example, we write it as a 15-day percentage. So that's it. Okay, we have to give it a name here. Suppose we write the name as relative strength against Nifty, and you can write your notes here, whatever notes you want to write for yourself. This has nothing to do with coding. So okay, we are closing it here. So this is the exploration we wrote. We are exploring it. Add securities. Suppose we want to run this exploration on the same folder, Nifty oil and gas stocks. You can run it on different folders. You can run it on IT stocks or any other folder of your choice. These folders are there in your favorite. So I am choosing the oil and gas stocks. So I'm selecting all the stocks and then open, and it will run. It will actually select all the stocks, because all the stocks with closing price greater than 1 is already selected. So okay, so it is showing us the report. All the stocks will already be shown here, but I can click here on this number, 15-day percentage value. The ROC values are populated here. If I click it here, it is now showing the worst stocks first. Gujarat Gas, Gujarat State Petronet, these are the worst stocks. This is their relative strength values, -20, -9, -6. And if I click it here again, then the stocks are really arranged in descending order. So Mangalore Refinery, Oil India, Reliance Industries and ONGC are the top 4 stocks, right? So just for sake of investigation, let us open these 4 charts, and let us see if there is really something worth investment here. So I am opening all the 4 charts here. Suppose Mangalore Refinery, yes, Mangalore Refinery is showing a really upward trend in terms of its relative strength. Prices are falling, but there is really an upward trend, higher top, higher bottom formation. ONGC, not that good. Okay, Reliance is good. It is showing an upward trend in terms of ratio chart. Prices are also holding given the current weakness in market. Reliance is also a good stock, and Oil India is also a good stock. It has broken out and pulling down a bit, maybe a strength, maybe a sign of consolidation. So anyway, this is how we use the conception of relative strength to find stocks for investment. I hope you liked this idea of relative strength and you would like to explore it in your own term. So this much for now. I hope you enjoyed this little lesson. We will be back with another video soon.